What's up everyone, Terraquake here, and I'm back with another Pokemon Challenge video. Pokemon Fire Red with only one Butterfree was kind of tough, but also pretty quick. So in this video, I'm switching it up a bit. Today, I'm going to figure out how fast you can beat Pokemon Emerald with only one Deoxys. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen these types of challenges on YouTube, but I decided to try one out for myself. So, the way that I'll be tracking this is by using the in-game time that appears in your trainer card. To get the shortest time, I'm going to try and skip every single trainer that I can. I'll also be saving before every single mandatory patch of grass to try and avoid as many wild Pokemon that I can. However, once I have access to repels, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I also want to mention that I won't be battling Steven at the end of the game, since once you defeat Wallace, you get to see your official in-game time. Alright, let's take a look at the speed form of Deoxys, since that's the form that the Universal Pokemon Randomizer defaults to. Its speed is through the roof, while the rest of Deoxys' stats are pretty decent besides its HP. It also doesn't start out with the greatest moves, as Deoxys only gets Wrap, Nightshade, Knockoff, and Pursue until level 25. However, there are some other moves like Double Team, Cosmic Power, and Recover that could come in handy. On the other hand, Deoxys has a very wide variety of TMs that it could use. No, seriously, this looks like almost every single TM there is in the game. Anyways, time for them rules. I can only use Deoxys in battle. I'll have to catch other Pokemon for HM use only, so they will not be allowed in combat. No items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of battle are allowed, and no glitches or exploits. I'm really excited to do this type of challenge, but I'm also kind of nervous that I'll somehow mess up along the way. Let's just hope I don't. I started off by switching the text speed to fast, turning battle animations off, and setting the battle style to set in order to do this even faster. By the way, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Torchic with Deoxys because Mudkip is pretty cool. However, it's not cool enough to handle the wrath of my boy DNA. There was nothing really worth mentioning in between that battle and the first gym, so it was time for Roxanne. I actually had to battle a couple of optional trainers before this gym, just so that I would stand a chance. My strategy was to spam Double Team a bunch and hope that her Pokemon never hit me. I could have grinded a bit more, but resetting after each attempt is way quicker than grinding on wild Pokemon. Anyways, on my fourth attempt, I got up 6 Double Teams, and then I started to use Nightshade. Roxanne's first Geodude somehow managed to land 2 Rock Tombs before I took it down. I took down her second Geodude the same way as the first one, but it also got off a Rock Tomb before dying. Last I was Nose Pass, but it missed on every single turn, so eventually I was able to finish it off with a few wraps. After saving the one and only Legend Pico, it was time for Brawly. Just like the battle against Roxanne, I set up 6 Double Teams right from the get-go. 3 Nightshades and a knockoff killed Machop, as luckily, he never hit me. Meditite's only attacking move was Focus Punch, so I easily took him down with 2 Nightshades and a knockoff. I decided to use knockoff on Makihita first, so that he couldn't eat his Citrus Berry. However, he has Vital Throw, which is a move that never misses. It wasn't doing too much damage to me, and I got Makihita down to below half health before he started to use Bulk Up. I then went for a Wrap to try and keep him out of healing range. However, Nightshade wasn't enough to finish him off, so Brawly did use a Super Potion. Luckily, Makihita was an idiot and used Reversal a couple of times, so I was eventually able to kill him with some Nightshades. Trust me guys, you do not want to know how many freaking attempts that battle took. So I kind of forgot to hit the record button for the battle against May, but as you can see, I did indeed defeat her. Hopefully I don't mess up like that again. After saying what's up to my boy Wally in Verdanturf Town, I took a crack at Watson. Voltorb and Electrike both went down to a single Psychic, so Magneton was up next. It immediately paralyzed me as I went for a Nightshade. I then went for Knockoff to keep him out of healing range, so on my next turn I was able to finish off Magneton, but I only had 28 HP left. Last out was Manectric, and Psychic did some good damage to him, but he ate a Citrus Berry. Luckily, he went for Howl 3 turns in a row until Watson used a Super Potion. After Watson healed up again, I got fully paralyzed and it looked like I was going to lose. But, after hanging on with 6 HP from a Shockwave, I got a critical Psychic to win the battle. My boy DNA is a very clutch man. The battle against Maxie wasn't that bad. I got a critical Swift on Mightyena, but then Maxie used a super potion. However, I took him down with a Swift and 2 more Nightshades. Zubat went down to 1 Psychic, so Camera Up was out last. Psychic nearly one-shot him as he brought me down to 36 HP with an Ember. After that though, another Psychic and a Swift killed Camera Up. Time for Flannery. Numel and Slugma got one-shot by a Psychic, so Camera Up was up next. She barely hung on from a Psychic, and then Flannery used a Hyper Potion. We then repeated that process again before I took her down with 2 more Psychics. Last out was Torkoal, but 2 more Psychics won us the fight. If Torkoal used Overheat on that turn, I think I would have lost because the sun was out. I'm just glad she didn't. And right after Flannery, it was time to battle my dad. I started by setting up 4 double teams, and then I one-shot Spindo with a Psychic. Vigoroth also got one-shot, so Slacking was up next. 2 Psychics got him down to red health as he missed a Facade, but he ate a Citrus Berry to bring him out of healing range, so another Psychic finished off Slacking. Last out was Linoon, so after Norman used a Hyper Potion, a Swift and a Psychic did the trick. After dealing with some Team Aqua shenanigans, it was time for another fight against May. Lumberry immediately used Fake Out, but 1 Psychic took it down. Slugma also got one shot, so Marshtomp was out last, but 2 Psychics won us the battle. May has just gotten easier and easier to battle throughout this run. To be honest, Winona wasn't as hard as I thought she would be. Swablu got one shot, Tropius wasted its time charging up Solar Beam, and Pelipper went down to a critical Psychic after Winona used a Hyper Potion. Nightshade did some good damage to Skarmory, but I had to use Swift in order to keep her out of healing range. However, Stealing wasn't doing that much damage, so I killed Skarmory, and last out was Altaria. Psychic did about half of her health, but Altaria ate an Oranberry. She then wasted her time using Dragon Dance, so a Swift and another Psychic got us the 6th gym badge. You know, I'm starting to think that Maxie and Archie are colorblind or something because they take the wrong freaking orbs every single time. Anyways, I decided to do the optional rival fight in Lily Cove City. Tropius hit me with a weak Magical Leaf before going down to 2 Psychics. Ludicolo also got 2 shot, and so did Slugma. Marshtomp's Mudshot did some decent damage to me, but the combination of Psychic and Swift is just too powerful. This battle against Maxie is probably one of the hardest ones I've ever had against him, as it took me a bunch of attempts. Nightshade didn't even do half of Mightyena's health, but luckily he used Scary Face, and then I got a critical Swift to finish him off. Crobat got one shot by a Psychic, so last out was Camerupt. He only went for Amnesia, and then Maxie spammed Super Potions, but eventually I was able to win the battle with a couple of Psychics. Time for Tate and Liza. I forgot to catch a Magikarp, so I decided to switch out on every turn with my other HM Pokemon. I know that seems a little cheap, but I feel like the time penalty of switching out every turn evens it out a bit. Anyways, Claydol went down to 2 Shadow Balls, but not before it did some good damage to me with Earthquake. I tried to use Shadow Ball on Xatu, but that just made Tate and Liza use a Hyper Potion. Instead, I took down Solrock with 2 Shadow Balls. I then killed Lunatone with 2 Shadow Balls, so Xatu was the only one left. I went for Swift as he started to build up Calm Minds. However, my crit luck continued as I took down Xatu with the Shadow Ball. I just want to say, that was my first attempt at that battle. After teaming up with Steven to take down Team Magma, it was time for Archie. I started by using 3 double teams as Mightyena lowered my speed and used Takedown. I then spammed Swift, but he eventually went for Roar. However, that erased my speed and attack drops, so another Swift took him down. Crobat got one shot, and Sharpedo died in 3 Swifts. After watching Rayquaza force his kids to go back to sleep, it was time to battle Juan. Luvdis confused me, but I had amazing confusion luck, so I was able to set up 5 double teams before taking her down with a Psychic. Crawdont missed Crabhammer 2 times, and then he decided to use Taunt, so 2 Shadow Balls and 2 Swifts killed him. Whiscash only used a Rain Dance, so 2 Psychics did the trick, and Celio died after Juan used a Hyper Potion. Kingdra was out last, but he missed an Ice Beam, so 2 Psychics won us the fight. In Victory Road, the boy Wally challenged me to a battle. Altaria wasted its time using Dragon Dance as I took him down with 2 Psychics, and Delcatty died to a critical hit from Psychic, so Magneton was up next. Thunderbolt did some decent damage to me, but I managed to take it down with 2 more Psychics, and Roselia died in 1 Psychic, so Gardevoir was out last. Shadow Ball nearly one-shot him, but Wally used a full restore. I decided to go for extreme speed though, so another Shadow Ball got us the W. After heading through Victory Road, here's my stats and moves. I taught Brick Break to Deoxys to help me out with Sydney, but I'm not sure if I can win at my current level. But, as I always say, there's only one way to find out. First up was Sydney, the Dark-type Master. My Nienna went down in 2 Brick Breaks, so Shiftry was up next. 1 Brick Break took him below half health, but then I missed a Brick Break, so Shiftry used Swagger. I then proceeded to hit myself, and then he went for a Torment, which was really annoying. Eventually, Shiftry went down, and just so I don't repeat myself, Cacturn, Crawdaunt, and Absol all died to a Shadow Ball and a Brick Break. Next up was Phoebe, the Ghost-type Master. I know Dusclops always uses Protect first, so I used that turn to set up a double team. 2 Shadow Balls were able to kill Dusclops, but not before she hit me with a powerful Shadow Punch. Bennett hung on from a Shadow Ball, and then Phoebe used a full restore. However, due to the special defense drop, 1 Psychic took down Bennett. Her second Bennett died to a Shadow Ball and Psychic, so Phoebe's second Dusclops was up next. Luckily, she never hit me, as Phoebe used a full restore after I hit Dusclops with 2 Shadow Balls. Another Psychic and Shadow Ball took down Dusclops, and Sableye brought me down to 8 HP before I finally won the battle with 3 more Shadow Balls. The third Elite Four member was Glacia, the Ice-type Master. I set up 6 double teams on Celio, and then I took it down with a Brick Break and a Psychic. 2 Brick Breaks took down her first Glalie, but I was only left with 50 HP due to the hail. Glacia's second Glalie died to 2 Brick Breaks, and her second Celio got taken down by 2 Psychics, so Walrein was out last. I hit her with a Psychic, while also getting a very clutch special defense drop. Walrein then missed an Ice Beam, so another Psychic won us the fight. The last Elite Four member was Drake, the Dragon-type Master. Since Shogun is never a threat, I knew that I could set up 6 double teams on him. I then killed him with a Brick Break and Psychic, and luckily, Flygon missed an Earthquake as I took him down with 2 Psychics, so Salamence was up next. 2 Psychics brought him down to red health as he hit me with a powerful Crunch. Drake then used a full restore, but I got a critical Psychic to take him down. Altaria hung on from 2 Psychics, but then he hit me with a Double Edge, which left me with only 7 HP as he killed himself from the recoil. Last out was Kingdra, but 2 Psychics finally ended this brutal battle. After countless, and I mean countless attempts at this battle against Wallace, I finally got this run. I got 6 double teams up on Wailord as he never hit me, and then I took him down with 2 Psychics. 1 Shockwave and a Psychic killed Tentacruel, so Ludicolo was up next. Luckily, he missed 2 Surfs, so 2 Psychics and a Shockwave took him down. 2 Psychics left Whiscash with a sliver of health, and then Wallace used a full restore. I then decided to use Shadow Ball, so 2 more Psychics killed him. Gyarados wasted his time using Dragon Dance, so after Wallace used some full restores, I took down Gyarados with a Shockwave. I immediately got a critical Psychic on Milotic, and then he used Recover. I kept on switching back and forth between Psychic and Shockwave, as Milotic kept on spamming Recover. A bunch of Shockwaves later though, I was finally able to beat this stupid mermaid thing, so I won the fight. Well, I really underestimated the difficulty of this challenge. And I know I had to use Double Team a lot in this run, but that's because I was trying to see how fast I could beat Pokemon Emerald. If this was one of my other challenge runs, then yeah, I probably would have grinded. But since I'm trying to beat this game as fast as possible, the quicker route would be to spam Double Teams and hope I get lucky. Anyways, let's see how I did. 6 hours and 9 minutes. Yeah, that's not the greatest. Even though my time was terrible, I had a lot of fun doing this challenge, so let me know if you guys want to see more of these runs. Also, see if you can beat my time. To be honest though, you probably can because I wasted so much time accidentally fighting trainers and looking for HM Pokemon. Anyways, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my next challenge, but it'll probably be in Pokemon Crystal. As always, feel free to leave any other challenge suggestions that you have in the comment section below. And if you want to see more of my challenge runs, then you can check out the playlist that I left a link to in the description. For now though, if you guys did enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell to see more. And until next time, deuces!